I'm a Band 5 therapeutic radiographer, and I basically rotate through what we call pre-treatment and treatment in a radiotherapy department. So pre-treatment consists of basically planning a variety of patients' radiotherapy treatment, and we treat sort of prostates, head and necks, breast, thorax. So we treat a wide variety of people and different sites across the body. So basically my role through there kind of rotates them, kind of gets them prepped for what they're going to undertake in a few weeks' time. And in pre-treatment we basically make permanent tattoo dots on a patient's skin, and that basically allows us to use that as a reference mark when they come back for their radiotherapy. So radiotherapy uses really high energy X-rays, so we obviously need to make sure that the same reference mark is there when they come back for their treatment. And then the other part of my job is the treatment radiographer, so kind of being able to be there physically, emotionally and psychologically for patients when they're going through their radiotherapy. So patients can come for 1 day up to sort of 37 days, so it can be quite a long time, and sometimes obviously, especially in a time when there's a pandemic going on, a cancer diagnosis is tough as it already, so kind of being there for patients every day and kind of building a rapport with them I think is really important. So we're there as kind of sort of a shoulder to sort of cry on, in the sense of being there to comfort them, but also kind of being there as technically and professionally. So how I got into my current job as a therapeutic radiographer was basically through a 3-year course at UWE in Bristol. So I did an undergraduate degree, and I kind of fell into it in a mistake, in the sense of not really knowing what it was, but kind of investigated it further and saw that it had a really good combination of sort of lots of science and lots of patient care, which I really enjoy helping people. So it's a really good mix of being able to see a difference in sort of helping people through maybe a really difficult part in their life. So it basically consists of a year's worth of placement, and I did 3 different placements across the southwest. They're all sort of 14 weeks long, so it allows you to kind of get really stuck in with the sort of what the job actually entails, and really preps you for when you've actually qualified, which I qualified last year, so I'm still quite new. But I'd say the best thing about what I do is definitely being able to see a difference. So kind of seeing patients from maybe one treatment to sort of 6-7 weeks down the line, and being able to see how we build a rapport with them and making their journey of what is really difficult for them at that time into slightly easier. So being there kind of all times, and obviously we're seeing them every day, so we get to build quite a good relationship with them. So sometimes we are able to see when something's wrong, and maybe they don't feel comfortable talking about it with anyone else. So sort of our opinion is quite valuable in that sense, as we're able to offer sort of, like I said earlier, like emotional and sort of physical advice to kind of help them through their treatment. Some of the main challenges that we kind of see as being a therapeutic radiographer is maybe being sometimes too emotionally invested in what we do. So we obviously see a lot of things which may upset a lot of people. So I feel being resilient is sometimes quite difficult, especially as the people who fall into this job is sometimes by a personal experience or by accident really. So I think it's quite a big thing to overcome, the sort of emotional attachment, especially if the patient's quite young or very fit and healthy, and the shock of a diagnosis is very overwhelming for them, which kind of affects you. I'd say some of the main and important qualities of our role, I'd definitely say, is maybe being able to communicate well, so dealing with a variety of different patients, but also being part of a multidisciplinary team, so speaking to other people throughout the hospital, such as dietitians, speech and language therapists, physios, and I feel people sometimes forget about that, but also being able to work as a team player and also use your own initiative. It's a job that you can visibly see a difference in patients, which makes it incredibly rewarding.